In addition to being able to open and manipulate your embroidery files, Floriani Rainbow also allows you to open up digital cutting files such as SVG format. And so when you choose open, you will be able to browse around your computer, and if you find a file that's an SVG file, so for example, this is a rose stencil design, and I'll just say open, and so now we'll have an empty workspace with our rose stencil artwork, and you can look in your sequence view to see all of the different shapes that make up that rose. And if there's some shape that you wanted to be able to select and perhaps go in and interact with the points, so I can use the shape tool to perhaps right click and add a new point, or right click and change that point from smooth to be a line and make it pointy, or maybe you wanted to smooth it out. And so these are the types of things that you can do with an SVG file. You have the ability to open and save digital artwork such as SVG format. And another thing you can do is create your own shapes. There's an actual simple shape tool for things like rectangles, which can be in any shape you want unless you hold your control key down, in which case it'll keep the proportions in the square shape. And the same could be said for the ellipse. You can make it kind of any length and height that you want. However, if you hold down the control key, it will keep it a perfect circle. And you've got a triangle, same idea, perfect right triangle or any shaped triangle you want, pentagram, and hexagon. And so all of those are simple shape tools. We also have the ability to draw our own shapes. So just click on the artwork tool, and now you're in what's known as simple line drawing mode, where you're just going to click to draw the lines that you want. If you hold down your control key, you get curved lines. If you don't hold down the control key, you get corner lines. And essentially, when you right click, it will stop drawing, and I would have drawn this shape right here. Notice that I didn't close that shape, and although I can display it filled in or not filled in, this line is not actually here, and so if you're cutting it on a digital cutting machine, it wouldn't have a cut right there. If you want to close your shape, you can use the close shape tool, and that will extend a line from the first point that you drew to the final point that you draw. And so I use that as kind of an easy way to close my shape, as opposed to drawing around a rectangle and then clicking to close the shape myself, because no matter how closely you think you've closed it, you always end up leaving a small part of it open anyway. And so I always use the close shape tool to close my shapes. And so these are the artwork tools, and if you create some artwork that you really love, you can save it into your custom shapes library. Now, several of these shapes did come with the software, and several of them are ones that I've made, such as the apple with the bite out of it. And so the idea here is, if you create a shape that you really love and you would like to save it as a custom shape, such as this rose design right here, you can select it and use the tools drop down menu to say save custom shape, and now I can call this rose and save, and now that rose will always be available in our custom shapes library, which will be alphanumerical. So I'll scroll down to where it says R, and there will be, let's see, I gotta go a little further here. No, I went too far. There's the rose design right there. So it brings it in as a custom shape. And so it's as easy as that. You can create your own artwork. You can open artwork. You can save artwork. You can edit artwork. And you can save your artwork as a custom shape. And so as you can see, the Floriani Rainbow program has quite a few artwork tools that it comes with.